Welcome back, everyone. AR Comics here, and today is New Comic Book Day Wednesday. I've got some books to go over, review for you guys. I'm going to show off the inside cover art, but before we get into any of these issues, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down low, little bell to get notified every time I drop new content, and if you like the videos, let me know why in the comments section. So, I picked up 5 books today. The only book I'm not going to be showing off and going over is That Texas Blood #2. So if you're looking forward to that, I'm sorry. That's going to be coming in a later review. I never read issue 1, but I did recently pick it up. I'm just waiting for it to come in the mail, and we can go from there. So, other than that issue, it was definitely a lighter week for me. It's pretty much all Spider-Man. It's like pretty Spider-Man heavy week, with the exception of one Image book. So, let's get started on it. So the first issue we have today is SpiderMan Noir #2. Now, at first I was really hyped for this issue, and I really like SpiderMan Noir, but I'm just not too sure how I feel about this issue, or this series overall so far. I know it's been a long time since the last one came out, but if you can recall, it's like a mystery so far. The waitress turned up dead, she had the cicada gem clutched in her hand, and then her sister Huma came kind of out of nowhere, and turned into this big mystery. So, this whole issue, they spent traveling to different areas. They went to, I think it was Berlin, and then Sicily, and then they had to make their way somewhere else towards the end. But it was kind of like, let's find this cicada gemstone, and who can help us along the way. It's like they had people waiting in every area that was able to do something for them, but at the same time it was, let's still find this gemstone. A little boring. It's definitely been a long time since I read the last one too, so I actually had to look up the last issue and just kind of go through it again, just so I could even remember what was really going on. So in my opinion, not the best issue, but that right there, totally cool. They brought in Electro at the end, and he's obviously Noir badass. So that's going to be the next cover issue as well. Looking forward to it. Like I said, I think after this next issue, I'll be able to make my decision on it. But I think it's only a 5-issue series anyway, so who really knows? Next up, we have Spider-Man Symbiote Alien Reality, issue #5. This is the final one of the series. Now, honestly, I really liked the first one, like the first series itself. I thought it was cool. I thought this one started off a little bit cool, but I don't know if it's the same thing. Maybe it's been so long since the last one came out, but I'm just not really digging it. They had Nightmare in there, Modor, Hobgoblin's still in there, and the whole thing is still, they gotta, I don't know, kind of like reverse time of itself, and that's what the whole issue is obviously spent doing. They have to rewrite history and rewrite time because they ended up burning the book, like the Bible book or something that had how everything was written throughout the past lives of everyone. I don't know, it was a little weird. Wasn't really digging it. I thought the artwork was awesome, and the way they brought, like, I don't know, they never really called him Venom, but obviously, I don't know how they've been doing this series with it, but I thought this was pretty cool. Overall, I think the series itself was a letdown, and it just kind of ended on a weird note. Like, nothing really concluded. It just kind of ended, and then everyone just forgot really what was going on and what was happening. But then they hit us with, after this next page, they hit us with, he will return. Will I get the next series? I'm not 100% sure yet, but I don't know. I did enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie. Well, the first volume. Second volume, not as much. Now, I might be one of the biggest criticizers of this run so far, and yet I keep buying them. I do love this cover. And before I even open it, I've got to say, I did enjoy it. It wasn't bad. Nick Spencer, you did a very good job. But I think Mark Bagley, I think your artwork is what really drew me in. So they finally brought Sin Eater in. Sin Eater's doing his whole thing after the last issue, like the prelude. I think they even showed it. No, it was a different issue. So they showed, obviously, how Sin Eater became who he was. This, Mary Jane's not back, just so you know. She had to cancel her flight. I don't know if that had something to do with the actual Amazing Mary Jane run, but I stopped reading that as well because I didn't think it was too good, and I figured I'd rather waste my money on this run than that run. So going through, they bring in Overdrive. He's pretty cool. Sin Eater makes his appearance. You know, a whole bunch of fight scenes go on. And honestly, I felt like this was a really long issue, but it wasn't bad at all. Honestly, nothing really big happens in the whole issue until kind of the end. I'm not really sure how any of that goes anyway. But, you know, Sin Eater makes his presence known. He talks about why he wants to kill Overdrive, even though he's not really killing him. He's just, you know, eating his sins and cleansing him, which is his whole purpose. So they talk for a while. Spidey tries to convince him, like, you know, you're just like crazy in the head, that's all it is. But I don't think he really sees it that way. Most crazy people don't really see themselves as crazy, so there's that. Going through it, at this point, I don't know, you're thinking maybe Spidey gets shot and killed instead of Overdrive because, you know, he's running away. And it doesn't really pan out that way. I don't know. Bullets went through him, whatever. Overdrive actually gets killed. So I don't know if that's going to be a big deal at some point or he's going to come back. I don't really know how all that works. But Sin Eater did kill Overdrive in this issue, so that's a big death. Oh, and then as you saw, let me flip through in the beginning real quick. That obviously leads to this. We don't know really what's going on with Kindred or what he's doing for people, but he did end up bringing James Beverly back to life. Well, we think he probably did. I'm not too sure. I don't know. I don't really know at this point what Nick Spencer's really doing or what he's trying to do. So I'm just kind of making my own assumptions at this point, and we're going from there. So that was the whole issue. I will admit it wasn't that bad. I think the next issue is going to be very good. I enjoy seeing Sin Eater in this run so far. He's brought it back to life a little bit. He's, I don't know, giving the issues kind of a purpose now. So I did like it. Nick Spencer, thank you for giving me a good issue this time, and we're moving on. Last but not least, this is my top issue of the week, and it didn't even come out this week. How crazy is that? I missed it last week. I was really excited for it, and I didn't get the opportunity. I forgot about it, and it's so cool. The artwork was awesome, and just even going through it, I really wasn't sure what we were getting at first. You know, they're kind of like a grand jury. A judge is talking about this kid, talking bad about his dad. His dad made a bunch of screw-ups, killed people, horrible human being, all that stuff. And the judge talks about how people make mistakes going through their lives, but his father is a different human being completely because he killed so many people. Like, ruthlessly, for no reason, killed people. But then, the rest of the story is like the kid kind of telling the story of his dad, and how his dad, you know, he can't really explain. Well, he can't really, like, back him up saying, like, oh, yeah, it was warranted. He, you know, killing those people. Like, he's still a good dude. But he's explaining why he did it. And he did it all for him, like his son, who's telling the whole story. Because he was sick growing up. They had no money. They had no food. They had no nothing. And, you know, his dad at some point was like, you know, I got to do something. I got to make a change. I got to help out my family. And then he runs into this guy who kind of shows him about this Bliss drug. I'm guessing it's a drug. Meets these weird frog-looking people. You don't really know what they are. But they kind of run the city, and they control everything, and they see everything. So they kind of hit him with this proposition where, you know, we know you need money. We know your son's sick. Would you like to, you know, make some money by killing these people? So he kind of thinks like, no, I can't morally do that. But then he sees that he can get this drug called Bliss. I think that was also on that last page. Yeah, so he gets this drug Bliss, and it's basically you forget what you've... I guess you kind of forget what you've done. Like, you cry out your sins. So you don't really remember killing all those people. You don't have to live with that pain. So then he thinks in his mind it's, you know, it's okay to kill these people because he's doing it for his family and he can't remember it anyway. I think it was a super good issue. I'm really looking forward to number 2. And this is 100% my top pick of the week. Image, fantastic book, Bliss. Welcome back, guys. So those are all the issues that I picked up this week. I think it was a lighter week. I thought the books were very okay. Some of them were a little bit better, like I was talking about. Bliss, definitely my top choice this week. Awesome book. Spider-Man 45, not that bad. Thank you, Nick Spencer, for putting out a good book. Sorry about I couldn't do the other indie book, that Texas Blood #2. I will have that review coming at some point for you guys after I get a hold of the first issue. But on that note, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already doing that. And hit me up in the comment section. We can talk about all the stuff I just picked up. Have a good night.